Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Adrielle, and I am currently narrating a story of my life dating back from January 2016. In the previous episode, I talked about my father's funeral, and yeah, so in this episode, I am going to talk about the month of February. So here it goes. It is February 2021, y'all. I am still grieving my father's death. um, I'm questioning everything as far as my time in Atlanta. Didn't have a job. Um, I'm like, what is my life? What is my life? I remember just thinking, like, man, can I go back to 2020? you know, it was just a lot. It was a lot going on. Yeah, it was a lot going on. February 2nd was the second court hearing, y'all. It was on via Zoom because, the whole vid situation was still going on at that time. So a lot of people weren't in person at court. So I was waiting in the room for our particular judge. I was waiting at the time. And I'm like, where's our court case? Like, where's our judge? Like, how come the judge hasn't talked about my father's case? Like, I'm waiting. It was like different cases, right? I was just seeing different cases. So eventually my oldest brother comes upstairs. He comes into my room. So I say to my brother, I say, "Hey, did they reschedule the hearing? Because I was in the judge's room, the Zoom room, and I did not hear her talk about my father's case." So that is when he is like quiet and he sits on my bed. He was like, they already had the hearing. And I'm like, oh, like I missed it. I'm like, what happened? Like, y'all, I was in the room. I was in the judge's Zoom room. I did not hear the case. I don't know what happened. So I'm like, yo, what happened? So what ended up happening? And he was like, he starts putting his hand on my shoulder. I'm like, what happened? That was when he told me that our father was stabbed. I'm not gonna say how many times. It was a lot of times, but he was stabbed multiple times. I ain't gonna say how many. It was a whole lot of times. He was stabbed multiple times, and for me, I was just like, I was just so it was just a lot for me, y'all. It was a lot. It was a lot. To be honest, y'all, I don't have the words for what happened to my father. Like I really don't. So if I'm not articulating myself properly, just please bear with me. Um, I just like I said, I try not to revisit that time. But yeah, my brother told me how many times my father was stabbed, and the person who unalived my father was denied bail. So that was good. I remember after that situation happened, I went to my parents' bathroom and I remember just having like a kind of like a breakdown and thinking to myself, like, man, why do I feel like my father's death was like sent by the enemy? Like the devil sent that man to stab my father multiple times so that he will die. But really, I feel like the enemy wanted to come for me. He knew he couldn't touch me, so he touched my father. So I started thinking to myself, like, yo, why do I feel like my father's, you know, death has something to do with me? Because, like I said, y'all, I feel like I was really the intended target. I feel like I was the enemy's intended target, but he couldn't touch me, so he touched my dad. So yeah, I remember just being in my parents' bathroom, like feeling like, yo, something about me or something with me had to do with my father's passing. And to be honest, y'all, later on in the story, oh my goodness, y'all, so much was revealed. So much was revealed. Later on in the story, I actually found out why I was feeling that way. I remember just feeling like my father's death was spiritual. In the bathroom, I really, really started to feel like my father's passing was spiritual. The devil was behind it, and I actually was the intended target. But the devil couldn't get to me. So later on, I actually find out more information of why I felt that way. I would just say this, y'all. There are people out there who are very demonic. Like, there are people out there who are very demonic. They don't care about the lives of other people. They don't mind killing people to get what they want in life. I'ma just say that. So, um, so I'm at home, and I'm talking to my mom about like what I'm gonna do in Atlanta. I told her I'm looking for jobs. I told her I still want to stay in Atlanta. She's like, hey, what about rent? She's like, hey, rent. You got it. Like, you got it. She was basically letting me know, like, yo, you gotta get something because I can't like just help you like consistently with rent because what happened. And I'm like, I know, I have to find something, sort something out when I get to Atlanta. Also, at this time, while I will talk to my mom, I would just be with her in the living room, and I would go on her social media, really her Instagram, on her iPad, and I would just check pages on her Instagram at that time. Now, at that time, there was someone, a celebrity at the time, who was pregnant. Now, here's the thing. I am someone that once I find out someone is pregnant, y'all, I kind of like keep tabs on them because I want them to have a safe delivery. I want them to have a smooth pregnancy. I'm just like wishing the best for them. So there was a celebrity who was pregnant at the time. Now, here's the thing. Her partner um is a trainer. So I will go on the celebrities page and I will go on the partners page. Now, here's the thing with Instagram. When you are going on someone's page that fits one category, so in the case of her partner was fitness, you're going to see a lot of fitness stuff on your explore page. So it wasn't until afterwards that I did that. Then I'm like, oh my goodness, why did I check that girl's partner's page? Now a bunch of fitness pages are popping up on my mom's explore page. It's just a matter of time that Brandon or Nami's page would pop up. So now I'm kind of like shaking at this point. So I said, you know what? Let me see. Let me go on a different page. Let me go on pages about cars. Let me go on pages about some other stuff, just to kind of like die that fitness category away from my mom's explore page. So that's going on. I'm still grieving my father's, death. And this was a time that I finally faced God about my feelings. And I really was open, like, God, like, I'm mad. You could have saved my dad. You could have stopped it. But I do remember, out of all the sermons I've heard, out of all the clips I've seen on social media about, God and Christianity, that God turns everything the enemy meant for evil into good, and that nothing catches God by surprise. And there's a reason why everything happens. So just going to God with that, dwelling on that, I eventually prayed to God. I said, God, take away my ill feelings towards you. Take them away. I'm like, God, I'm mad at you. I have these feelings about you. I personally don't like that I have these feelings towards you because I know you're good. But I'm emotional, I'm sad and everything. God, take these feelings away. Because I know I couldn't take those feelings away. I pray that y'all probably like the day after, 2 days after, I didn't have any ill will towards God anymore. I didn't. And so that was when I was like, okay, I gotta keep trusting God that even when things go left, He is still in the midst. He is still in the midst. He is still working things out. Y'all, Lord, this is so much. Just as I believe God for London and Brandon, I should also believe that God can heal me from my father's passing. God can heal me from all the pain that I'm facing. God can heal me. I had to believe that, y'all. I had to believe that. I thank God he took away my ill feelings towards him. I had to believe him for the rest, y'all. I had to. It was a lot, but I remember I had to take it one day at a time. I had to take it one day at a time. February 16, y'all. It's February 16. It marked the 1 month anniversary of my father passing away. And I remember just waking up like, whoa. I was only one at home at on that day or that morning. I was only one home. I remember going downstairs, y'all. Going downstairs, I went to the living room and I was on my mom's iPad. I went on Instagram. I get on my mom's Instagram, on her explore page, and I see this picture. My heart dropped, y'all. My heart dropped.